Hi everyone, this is Jun Li. I'm from a small city in China called Shijiazhuang in Hebei province. Today, I'm taking you to see a real Chinese countryside village and a traditional rural market, Ganji. We drove about 20 minutes to get there. This is Xijing village. It's a very small village, but you know what small means in China. Even though it's small, it still has over 4,000 residents and the village covers around 130 acres. You can already see the difference between the countryside and our town. But along the road, you can still see a lot of electric three-wheelers. I learned the name Old Man's Happy Car from one of you, and that is hilarious. You can think of this market as farmers market in the US. Most of the food here is fresh made by the local villagers. They also sell vegetables they grow themselves. Over here, they have grilled sausages and fried potatoes. Here are fresh eggs, and many of them come from chickens raised by villagers, and this is red bean cake, freshly made. I'm going to buy some eggs because in our town, most eggs are transported from other places, so I really want to try fresh ones from the village. And these are duck eggs. The seller said the business was really good today. We came a little bit late, so now she only has 4 left. So total is 20 RMB, which is less than $3. Nowadays, even small vendors like this accept mobile payments. Everyone has a QR code, so it's very convenient. You don't need cash, wallet, or any physical card, just your phone. There are many places selling jianbing. I was actually surprised when people in the comments said they've tried it before. Looks like we have a lot of food lovers here. They also sell freshly made tofu, and over here you can see people doing massage on the street. It looks funny, but they're actually selling the herbal patches. Usually older people try this, younger people will not. Like me, I'm never that extroverted enough to do on the street. On both sides, you can see a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. After the market is over, there are cleaners who come to clean everything up. Here they sell loose candy and chocolate, very colorful, and also different kinds of snacks sold by weight. Things at this rural markets are much cheaper than grocery store. This is very different from the US. So that's why you can see most of the people here are older residents from this village or nearby villages. Younger people still prefer go to the grocery store. Here is fresh pork. When you buy meat here, you can just point to the part you want. They also sell clothes, mostly for older people, same with shoes. Younger people don't really shop here. Over here are fresh fruits. I really love mulberries. If you have PCOS, this is good for you. Here they sell fried skewers, and over here is fried chicken tenders. These are some seedlings, like peppers and cabbage and even seeds. These markets are usually small, so you can walk through the whole thing pretty quickly. People also ask me why I said in a previous video that middle class in China prefer apartments instead of single-family houses. As you can see on both sides of the street, in China, this is what a single-family house in the countryside often looks like. Because most single-family houses are in rural areas, grocery shopping or something else is not very convenient. Also, many older houses have bathrooms that are separate from the main house, so you have to go outside to use the bathroom. So most young people and middle-class families prefer apartments in cities. This is actually very similar across East Asian countries like Japan and South Korea. But there's also one advantage. Even if you lose your job, you can always go back to your village and live in your family home. Because in China, land is collectively owned, but individuals and families have long-term use rights. So families can build and live on their own land without paying property tax at all. So you don't have to worry about losing your home. The land can be passed down through generations. That's also one reason you can barely see any homeless people in China. And for housing, most young people still choose to move to big cities and buy newer apartments. That's why you can see mostly older people in village like this. So even though China has a huge population, in small places like this and our town, it might not feel crowded. But if you go to cities like Beijing, Shanghai, or Shenzhen, it's completely a different story. Alright, we're heading home now. Do you usually go to farmer markets, and what is your favorite?